Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter. Breaking news.
And we are starting with some breaking news. We have two major apologies at this hour. Dominic Carter here with you. The number to reach us this hour, 800-848-9222. You knew this one was coming. New York City's socialist mayor, him and his wife, they think that they're so slick. New York City's first lady is now officially apologizing for what she's calling her past harmful social media content. But it's a half apology because she's not mentioning the pro-Palestinian terrorists or the anti-Israel post, but she is apologizing. And I say, save us the crocodile tears. The mayor's wife expressing regret for the, quote, hurt caused by her past alarming social media posts. But again, she's failing to directly apologize for the troubling content, praising Palestinian terrorists and bashing Israel. The second major apology, Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor is issuing an unusual apology over hateful remarks about her Supreme Court colleague, Brett Kavanaugh. The liberal Supreme Court justice had criticized her conservative colleague while she was talking about an opinion he wrote last year in an immigration case. And according to Bloomberg Law, she said, and this is the comment that she's apologizing for, this is from a man whose parents were professionals and probably doesn't really know any person who works by the hour. That is deeply insulting. And Kavanaugh, who is white, grew up in the Maryland suburbs of D.C., while Sonia Sotomayor, the first Latina to serve on the court, her parents were from Puerto Rico. She spent her childhood in a Bronx housing project, sort of like I did, not far from the project where I grew up at. So she made this comment at a recent appearance at the University of Kansas School of Law, but she is apologizing. So we have a lot to get to. I'm going to circle back to these two apologies. But to those of you that question whether or not this blockade in Iran is going to work, well, the Navy is not messing around.
News alert. It's day 3 of the U.S. blockade against ports in Iran. CENTCOM says so far, no Iranian ships have breached it. Maybe this warning had something to do with it.
Do not attempt to breach the blockade. Vessels will be boarded for interdiction and seizure, transiting to or from an Iranian port. Turn around and prepare to be boarded. If you do not comply with this blockade, we will use force. The whole of the United States Navy is ready to force compliance. Now.
So that's the warning that ships are hearing if they try and make it through in the Strait as it relates to Iran and the blockade by the U.S. 800-848-9222. Let's start with some of your telephone calls. I'm going to come back to Mom Donnie's wife in a moment. He thinks he's so slick. I'll tell you exactly what's going on. Let's start with Ben. Line 1, New York. What's on your mind, Ben?
Yeah, Dominic, I just want to give you my weekly thanks to what you do for us as the city and nation, to keep us abreast of the craziness.
Well, that's nice of you to say. Hey, Ben, what do you, and I know I'm hitting you cold with this, what do you make of the mayor's wife's apology for her past social media comments? She's used the N-word. She's used all types of things. And she's saying, look, I made these comments. She tried to hide her identity. And she said, I made many of these comments when I was a teenager in my early 20s. She's still in her 20s. What do you make of this?
Well, I got called the N-word by a coworker today. And, we go back for several, a decade. So it's the relationship that you have with the person using the N-word. If you're a part of the hood, you can do it. But if you just
you shouldn't do it even if you're part of the hood, Ben. But I hear you. But nobody should use it, because why should it be okay in the hood, but then if a white person says it, you're ready to knock them out? What's the difference?
Well, the difference is, I would say, the difference is this: you can't call anyone honey. You call honey your honey. So there's certain words that are used for family, if that makes any sense.
But the N word shouldn't be used by anyone. But Ben, thank you for the very nice call and for your comments. Thank you very much. So again, folks, you're going to be reading a lot about this later on today. Mamdani's wife apologizing for her hateful social media comments, talking about that she understands that it's hurtful. But folks, they think they're so slick. See, some of us have institutional history. Myself. The city of New York has been down this road before. Mayor Bill de Blasio. Every political reporter in town knew that his wife had a past with gay relationships. Every reporter. So let me backtrack. So whenever someone announces for public office, those of us that know what we're doing, we know the good, the bad, and the ugly. We know the good, the bad, the ugly, and the rumors. And we're checking out the rumors as the person is announcing. So what did de Blasio and his wife do? This is what Mamdani and his wife are trying to do now. So de Blasio, knowing that any day the media was going to come with the story that his wife was gay, they co-opted the story. They sat down, I think, with Ebony magazine or Jet magazine, a African-American magazine, and they said, listen, he said, listen, my wife has had bisexual relationships. And so that took the issue away that his wife was gay. So now here we go again with Mamdani. And so for her to jump out now, when she's basically told all of us, I don't care what you think, this means that Mamdani is ready to appoint her to some official role. And they've got to clean up the mess first. He thinks that he's so slick, and he thinks he's so much smarter. You may be smarter than those reporters down at City Hall, but you've got to get up mighty early to be smarter than me, Mamdani, and it's never going to happen. So she sits down with an arts magazine. She's an artist. And she apologizes, but fails to directly apologize for the troubling content praising Palestinian terrorists and bashing Israel. So she's 28 years old, and she made a number of Tumblr, X, a number of harmful posts. And, she says now that she's read and seen a lot of what others have to say in response, and I understand the hurt I caused, and I am truly sorry. And one 2015 post, the First Lady of New York City raged that Tel Aviv shouldn't exist in the first place, calling its residents occupiers, and dropped the N-word in another post 2 years later. She hailed a Palestinian plane hijacker and members of the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine, while reposting a tirade accusing U.S. service members of mercifully slaughtering third world citizens to maintain America. I mean, it goes on and on and on. December 2015, she blamed white people for the creation of Al-Qaeda, one outlet reported, and she said you can't blame Muslims for terrorism because they didn't construct, fund, nor train Al-Qaeda. White people did that too. She drew backlash when she liked Instagram posts celebrating October 7th, the attack that showed the images of people being murdered. And another post, this is now the First Lady of New York City, and another post, she claimed that rapes carried out by the terror group against Israeli hostages and victims were a mass hoax. And this is the first lady of New York City. And Mamdani thinks he's so slick. He's defended her by saying she's a private citizen. Now he's ready to roll her out. He's borrowing a page from de Blasio, the way de Blasio handled his wife being gay, the reports, by coming out to the magazine and saying, yes, my wife in her past was bisexual and had gay relationships. So Mamdani is now trying the same thing. Let's go to Silas, line 3, Staten Island. Silas, what's on your mind?
Yeah, with Mamdani and his wife, when you deceive somebody, lie to them, you're taking them for a fool. And they feel they can fool us. They ain't fooling me. They ain't fooling you, but they are fooling some of the people some of the time. There are actually 40% people asked, what do you think he's doing a good job right now? And they said, yeah. And I said, wait a minute, he hasn't done nothing. What do you mean he's done a good job? By raising taxes? By proposing to build a store that isn't going to be done for 3 years? Could you imagine going to your auto mechanic and he says, well, I'll fix your car, but it's going to cost twice as much as I told you, and it'll be finished in 3 years.
Well, the first store it's coming up in 1 year. It's not 3 years. The first store in East Harlem, he said that all of them, I think he's proposing 5, will be done by the end of his first year. Silas, before I let you go, Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor punching below the belt with the comment that she made about her colleague, Justice Kavanaugh, basically saying that he was coming from white privilege while she's coming from the hood. She's apologizing. What do you make of that?
Probably just trying to clean up things behind her. She's not that bright. The same way you can't say Ketanji Brown isn't bright, or else they call you a racist. But,
right. Well, she's definitely not bright. Now, I don't care what you can call me, Uncle Tom. You can call me whatever you want.
Right.
That justice is not bright at all. Silas, thank you for the great call. Dominic Carter here with you, folks. What I've got to do at this point is take a break. A lot going on in terms of 2 major apologies at this hour. This will be talked about a lot, at least in the city of New York, but nationwide as well. The mayor's wife apologizing in a friendly interview for her social media posts. So is Justice Sonia Sotomayor. It is time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
now. From New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
Saran, what about your wife? What about, you're not going to respond to that? You're married to a racist that makes you one. You're not going to respond to that, huh? Huh, Saran? You can't face New Yorkers. Look at all that security you need. You can't face New Yorkers. You got no balls. You got no balls, you know that? Your security detail? Hey, Hussein, you look sharp.
And there you have it, Mamdani. That was a few days ago where he was not responding, but now his wife is apologizing. They're doing a de Blasio. They're trying to take this off the table so that he can go ahead and give his wife a position within the administration, and he thinks that we're stupid enough to forget about her social media past. Line 4, Nick in Virginia. What's on your mind, Nick?
Good evening, Dominic. Hey, you're talking about Mandali's wife, making all these negative comments about Israel and the West and everything. Well, we have a lieutenant governor here in Virginia named Hashmi, and she's originally from Bangladesh, and the Democrats can't find native-born Americans anymore, so they import people. And she wants to make it a law illegal to have Islamophobia, which is now defined as any hatred or negative talk against Islam.
Boy, it's a slippery slope. So if I say Islam, is my tone, is my inflection Islamophobia? It's such a slippery slope.
Well,
And I think we Americans got to worry about America. Okay, bottom line. Nick, thank you for the call. Let's go to Greg in Michigan. I hope I don't regret this. Line 3. Hey, Greg, before you go on with your comment, can you tell me why you insulted me the other day? You called up and you asked me if I read some book about DEI or affirmative action. Why did you do that?
Oh, damn. I was just, real quick, it's Mr. Positive. I didn't mean it to be that way. I just... when I read books,
hey, Greg, most liberals don't mean it to be that way. But then their bias comes out. Well, you say you're not a liberal, so what? Would you call another host and ask them if they read a book about DEI?
Yeah, of course.
Can you give me an example of that? Can you give me an example of that?
Yeah, we'd bring it up to Stephen A. Smith, or because he's well read and Chris
so you bring it up to another black host. You're proving my point.
I would bring it up to anybody.
Okay, but you just cited Stephen A. Smith. The last time I checked, Stephen A. Smith is as black as I am.
Well, you should interview him. He's fantastic.
Okay, but you didn't answer my question. You know what? You're not going to answer. So, because as a liberal, you don't even know why you did it. Because you folks, you just do things like that. But what's your point this morning?
You're making a broad generalization.
Okay, I'm making a broad generalization, and you call a black host and start out by asking me if I read a book about DEI, and I'm being overly broad.
You don't believe in racism.
Excuse me?
Didn't you say that you
I don't.
In racism?
The country I live in has been extremely good to me and has made it possible for me to be where I am today. So if I haven't experienced racism, why are you going to try and put it in my mouth?
You got to read the book by
Why do I have
Carter. Read it.
You said the person's name 3 times. Are you on her payroll?
No.
Why do you care who the author is? Why do you keep plugging this lady?
Because she's brilliant, and I want.
You say she's brilliant,
think you do.
right? You say she's brilliant. I don't care what her credentials are. I know a lot of PhDs that I wouldn't trust to walk my dog. Thank you for the call, Greg. Time for a break. We're coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
now. From New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
Blaze, before I ask you the question that I have for you, tell me something good. Tell me something positive.
It was 80 some odd degrees today, and it's
true.
only April.
That's true. But next week, is it going to be 0?
Well, it'll go back down to like 50s, 60s, normal. But 80 degrees, I had to turn my air conditioning on today.
Really? You had it on?
Well,
wow.
Yeah, I sleep during the day. I can't sleep in 78-degree rooms.
How's Samantha?
She's good. And, because it's hot, she has the coat, but the double coat keeps her cool and hot. So when she plays outside now, it's a little bit shorter of a time because she gets winded and hot. So the panting happens. But she's doing well.
I'm glad to hear that. So I wanted to have a little fun talk before I get to the serious issue at hand. Illegals killing Americans. How do we get out of this mess? The latest one, we did the story 3 p.m. today, Atlanta, Georgia. A woman that works for the Department of Homeland Security. She was in tip-top shape, always working out, great sports gear. She goes running. This dude decides that he likes what he sees. He ends up apparently shooting her and choking her out. And she's dead now. How do we get out of this mess?
You just got to go to jail for life. That's it. I mean, you have to set an example, and that's.
But it's not stopping them. It's happening more and more and more.
And that's the only way. And I don't know if they think they're going to get away with it, and then if they don't, they'll get they'll get away with it, and maybe they get caught, and then we'll deport them away. I don't want them deported. I want them suffering in jail.
But I have to be careful how I phrase this because we know I can be brutally blunt. They come here, what's the best way to say this? Without American customs. I'm trying to not be offensive.
No,
They come here and they act like savages like they do in their countries, okay? I'm not doing the political correct thing. They act like savages, the way they act at home. And they have no respect for our system, and they think whenever they get horny, they can just snatch a woman and have sex with her. And then kill her because they're afraid that she'll lead to their arrest. So how do we get around this?
Well,
it's happening more and more and more.
There has to be stronger vetting and stronger security at the border, which I think is happening now. That's the only solution. I mean, there's always going to be illegal border crossings. It's just how much can we police it and secure the border. That's the only way. Will we ever stop it 100%? It's impossible, Dominic, and it's sad to say that, but it is. How are you going to totally 100% stop illegal crossings? There's tunnels, there's whatever, coyotes, whatever they do. It's never going to stop. We just have to secure it, and when they get caught, they have to be severely punished. I don't know. Do you want death penalty?
Don't ask me. Don't ask, because I have an even better solution. Don't ask if you don't want the real answer. Because you know I'm going to tell you the real answer.
Snip, snip.
To these guys that are raping women, snip, snip. Oh, you know what? Hey, Blaze, thank you. I want to do this. Now, folks, we see all your calls, but I want you to pause, full stop for a second. And I want you to listen to this mother, Jennifer Boss, speaking about the loss of her daughter, Megan. I want you to listen to what this mother has to say.
The love that she generously gave to everybody and the hope that she had for her future was erased by someone who had no right to be in this country. She went to his house and she never left. He had taken her body and stuffed it in a garbage can, keeping her doused in bleach for 51 days while we searched for her desperately. That's why we fight for her every day. This has been incredibly hard on our family, especially right now. Tomorrow marks 1 year since they found her. A tragedy like mine and the other families that are here, could have been prevented, and that knowledge creates an agony for us like no other. For me, it was further compounded when I had to fight bureaucracy and ideological sanctuary policies trying to get him detained to await trial. I made enough noise that I got the attention of this administration, and after 3 months walking free, ICE came and took him into custody. I had no idea what was going to happen at that point, but I was incredibly relieved that he was off the street. And at the time, I didn't know anything about the Voice Office. President Trump has, I'm going to set this down. President Trump has so passionately tried to honor and support angel families. He created the Voice Office in his first term. The Biden administration didn't have any use for it, so they shut it down. And it had just been reopened when I received the call telling me they were here to help us. They would tell us how to track Megan's perpetrator while he was in custody, and they offered to connect us to local support services. They were there to listen to our needs, and they would help us any way that they could. It was very reassuring. 4 months later, Megan's perpetrator was brought back to Illinois for a detention hearing. The ICE officers drove him all the way from Indiana, where they had him detained, to escort him to court that day. The judge ordered him to be held in custody, was relinquished to our county jail. I received a text message from DHS Vine that his custody had been transferred to Lake County before I even left the courthouse. It was very impressive. The services that the Voice Office can provide are ever growing as they create partnerships within local communities and social services. They have helped families understand the immigration and removal process and literally are a voice for us so that Homeland Security and ICE officials can better understand real life experiences and conflicts that may arise between immigration court and criminal court, such as was in my case. The difference of an American citizen committing a crime versus an illegal alien committing a crime is that citizens follow a known path through the justice system that we've already established. Normally, a victim doesn't have to wonder what's happening, where the perpetrator is, when the court dates are going to be, or if they're going to even be in the country. That's just not how it works with an illegal alien criminal. There's conflicting state and federal laws, and the path just is not clear. So President Trump saw that gap, and he gave us a bridge when he reinstated the Voice Office. We show up like this to speak what we're living every day, the dire consequence of open borders and dangerous sanctuary policies. We come hoping that our stories raise awareness of the vulnerabilities. We have to find a way to work together to put an end to these tragedies that we have the power to prevent. But until that happens, we have to come together, and we need to support and grow the Voice Office. They need to be here to pick up the pieces when the next Angel family gets that call. I just want to thank President Trump, DHS, ICE, all of our law enforcement for helping us, for their service, for everything they do every day to protect us. Thank you.
And so, in a moment, I see among the calls we have Fran in Massapequa. She wants to talk about Swalwell. We'll get to that in just a second. But Blaze, I know you just heard this mother. You heard her sobbing. This savage animal stuffed her daughter in a drum with bleach as they were looking. What does bleach, what does it do? It's not going to dissolve the body. I mean, what? I mean, maybe... I guess for the smell, but it's just heart-wrenching to hear that. First of all, you're right to call them savages because only a savage could do that to another human being. It's just mind-boggling to think about that. How can you do that to a person? And they got a free ride to come into the country, and they can't respect that. They can't respect that. They want to have sex with any woman that they want to grab and think that they're entitled to have sex with that woman. You know. And I just wish, I'll give you the final word on this, please. I just wish that that woman's brother or husband or father happened to be standing by and blew their brains out right on the spot. That's all I can hope for. Go ahead. You got the final word on this, and I'm going to Fran and Matthew. I mean, these people should rot. They should be stuck somewhere and rot. Like literally, because it's like I said, it's so mind-boggling that someone could do that to another person and just have no regard for life at all, and that they're using this person as their own, like a sex toy. And you know what? I did what I did. I don't want you to talk. I don't want you to come at me. So I'm going to kill you. And put you in a drum with Clorox. Yeah, it's just crazy. They should just rot. An American citizen. That's what you're going to do that to. All right, let's switch gears. Thanks, Blaze. Let's go to Fran. Line 1, Massapequa. Good morning, Fran. What's on your mind?
Dominic, it's not a girl. It's Fran, the man from Massapequa.
Oh, okay. All right, Fran.
I call you a lot. You know what I mean? You're the man. Listen.
Well, thank you.
I'm crying in my car. Let's just say that. You can't be a human being, a normal human being, and listen to that woman and not cry or not have emotions in her face.
Agreed.
It's Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's just, I'm at a point where, my brother's 38 years old. He died of cancer. And it was my older brother at the time. I know. Well, it happened. My point being, it happened in '01, just before 9/11. But my point being is it ruined my family. It was so bad. My parents, their oldest son died of cancer. To get a phone call like this, that your spouse, your son, your mother, daughter, grandma, whatever it is murdered. That was one of the things I always told my mother and father. I always said, listen, just imagine if he was murdered and we didn't know where he was or who did it. Thank God we got time to see him. I always paid homage to those people like this girl who were murdered. And then you think about half of the country would listen to this woman and say bad things about her. And it's just, it's bad. It's really, really bad. And then to go on to I would die for that family's pain. And every person that's murdered and raped, any kid that's hurt, I would die for their pain. I want to move on to this creature Slowell, because this is what it's about.
Hey, but wait,
yes,
Fran.
Yes,
I do want to say this to you, man.
Yes, sir.
You're more a man than I am, because you're feeling the pain of this mother, and I am too. But I've been doing this so long and this is why I say you're more of a man than I am, because I have to remove myself on an emotional level, because it's so horrific when you think about these things. But anyway, okay, you want to talk about Swalwell, because I'm 40 seconds from the next break, so go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Well, I don't even have kids. I was never married, no kids, on my choice. But just think about that. It's one of the greatest things in the world, and I never wanted to take that for granted. I wasn't mature enough, and I wasn't ready. It's a privilege to have children. That woman should be, it's unbelievable. But anyway, Swalwell is the first-class creep. We known it, and I've been on this on Facebook and Instagram, ripping him to shreds since the first day he went after the greatest, or one of the greatest presidents ever, Donald Trump. Swalwell is, I think he's a steroid head. I think that he's an egomaniac, and he is everything the Democrats are. He sat there on TV and said Trump's a rapist. He's a traitor to our country. He works with the Russians. And this guy did all of that. The problem is people vote for these people, and we cannot stop that. And that's the issue, Dominic. It all comes down to America. You can't get violent. You can't hurt people. So you got to vote. And somehow these sick liberals have a way of getting out people to vote against that mother. That's the way I look at it.
So, Fran, I got to step
Dominic.
in, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Fran. Love you too, man, and we hope to hear from you in the future. Fran just laid it out there. Massapequa, the way you feel for this mother. So did Matt Blaze. The bottom line. Time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And I'm telling you, man, as we're going back to the calls, you want to get law and order? Our police have to get back to that. They have to get back to that rather than, no offense to the Girl Scouts and no offense to the greatest police officers in the world, rather than turning them into Girl Scouts. You can't touch anybody. You can't do anything. People can spit in your face, do whatever. If you touch them, civil rights violation. That's what we have to get to. Training Day, Denzel Washington. Don't look at me like that.
Don't get any better than that.
Don't get any better than it, right?
Denzel.
King Kong ain't got, right?
Yeah.
And he walked away, didn't he? He said, I'm the police, right?
Walk away.
Go ahead. You just live here.
Walk away.
Let's go back to the telephone calls. Let's go. Let's see here. Let's go to Walter in Baltimore. Walter, I don't know about you, Walter. What's on your mind this morning?
Yeah, you mentioned Brett Kavanaugh. You're okay with him on the Supreme Court? You know what he was accused
of? We don't do that when you're going to ask me a question. What is the point you want to make?
It's okay only if it's one side.
Okay, nut job. What is the question that you want to ask? I mean, what is it?
You don't care about women. You only care if it's one Democrat side. If it's a Republican, you're okay with it, and you show her about every single night. You're not telling me what's going on.
So this is why you held on for an entire hour to make this comment. This is why you held on. King Kong ain't got. You feel better now, Walter? Did you get it out?
Walter, you have a response, Dominic? Why
do you feel better, Walter? Walter, do you think I'm obligated to respond to you? Your name is not John Katzimatidis. Your name is not Margot Katzimatidis or Chad Lopez. I don't have to answer to you. You're a joke. You're a joke. I don't have to answer to you.
I'm not a joke. You're a joke, Dominic.
Okay, so why did you? Okay, well, listen. You ain't never got to worry about me waiting for an hour to talk to you. I would never be calling you and meet Mr. Click right now. Let's go to Jerry in Pennsylvania, line 1. Jerry, what's on your mind?
Yeah, hi, Dominic. I'm very happy with Trump and his foreign policy that he's not allowing politics too much, it looks like, to play into his decision-making. He doesn't seem to be too concerned about that. He's got his eye on the ball there. But domestically, I'm a little upset with him for reacting to the Minnesota incidents because it wasn't intentional and it was not reckless. And even if it's negligent, you don't change your whole plan, assuming it is negligent even. You wouldn't change your whole plan.
Jerry, do me a favor. Don't be so short-sighted. How do you know the president's changed his plan?
Well, I'm saying it doesn't look the same to me as before. And he
and maybe that's intentionally. Maybe he backed up short term. Did that ever occur to you?
Yes, but he did say, too, which I don't understand why he makes a statement like, perhaps we're going too far. You give the left, I don't know, I feel like if you give the left one little opening, they go crazy with it.
Jerry, I'm sorry. We have to live in a world, we can't live in a world of la-la land. The president has to lead America, the entire country, and that's what he's doing. He can't just play to his base all the time. Come on, man, you got to give him a break there. The man is doing the right thing. I'm back at 3 p.m.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?